Alright, my brothers and sisters, it's your boy Zatch, and welcome back to some more Wuthering Waves. Now, I was going to make a video about the new, pretty much elusive realm, but then this came, so we're doing more important things first because, let's be honest here, this is the real anniversary, no doubt about it. Version 2.4 is looking fire, and the meme stays alive of Kuro cooking, devs listen, you know, they mess up, oh my god, rage and outrage, and then, you know, they listen to that fucking meme. It seems to be true still because they cooked. It is what it is. They did a great job with this here update. After watching that live stream, man, I'm ready. Because we are not getting one, we are getting 2 chapters, baby. They say, okay, we didn't really do too much for the 2.3, you know. We gave them the zany story, which was alright, but then they gave us the Chikona, which was really good. But that was pretty much a precursor to this, which, again, what they showed us in this live stream looks really good, but real quick, codes. We gotta put the codes first. Now, after the codes, now we get into the meat and potatoes of things. Like I said, we got 2 new story chapters instead of 1, so fire already. New area, which, I don't want to mess up the name, but I'll try to say it. Septimount. I think I said that right. Septimount. I think I said it right. But yeah, the new area, which seems to be Greek inspired. They have a little, you know, gladiators, a little coliseum. We looking good. We looking fancy. We got to look at both the new characters of Cartheia and Lupa a little bit more, seeing more of their, you know, animations and whatnot. It seems as though Cartethyia is the one who can apply arrow erosion onto the enemies, and then a fleur de lis is the one who can use said arrow erosion to deal more damage. So that's nice to see how they're able to interact with themselves in such an interesting way, pretty much just being completely self-sufficient. When using the final hit of her basic attack string, when she uses her resonance skill, and when she uses a heavy attack, she leaves behind the 3 swords that we, you know, interacted with or saw through the previous story. And then when she does a plunge attack or an air attack, she will suck up all 3 swords up the field to enhance their plunge attack and or air attack. On top of that, they said that after certain conditions are met, Cartheia can stay as fleur de lis indefinitely. So I'm curious of how that will work out. And then when it comes to Lupa, she, on the other hand, seems to have some nice aerial combos, but then she also has this wolf flame gauge, which is her forte, which allows her to do enhanced heavy attacks or mid-air attacks, so more of that aerial combat. And then once you have done enough of those enhanced attacks to accumulate wolf flame, then she can go into the wolf flame climax, which then allows her to switch out into another ally. When you do this, she'll stay onto the field, and then if that ally does use a residence liberation or ultimate, then she will do a follow-up attack alongside their ultimate. She also has a 2-tiered skill, which the first one makes her leap into the air, then it becomes an enhanced skill, and then you can press the go button again, and then she'll unleash a flurry attack on the enemy. So that's interesting. But then on top of that, she does seem to have Shorekeeper's outro skill effect, which is if you're, you know, knocked over, stun hit, you know, or hit stun, anything like that, you can actually recover right away from it. But what caught my attention even more is the fact that they showed Lupa alongside Arrow Rover, which is a character who has a habit of, you know, changing negative status effects into arrow erosion. So there's just like a slight chance, because they still haven't gone over her entire kit or anything, there's a slight chance that maybe, just maybe, Lupa could be a character who can apply the fire negative status effect, which name escapes me because I'm not looking at it. But yeah, there is a small chance that she might be able to do that, which if she can, really cool, because she'll be the first one who can do it. We have a new permanent game mode, which is kind of like capture the flag meets domination, kind of sorta, and is actually supposed to be a very challenging mode. So from what it seems is there's multiple floors or levels that have banners on them, and you need to beat the monster at said area to dominate said area to get buffs and whatnot. And the higher you go on the floors, the more difficult it gets. But also, you also get buffs, but also, why did I say that? Whatever. You also get buffs from doing defensive strats like parrying and doing perfect dodges. So the more you perfect dodge and parry, the more buffs you will get, is what they showed. So keeping that in mind, they also said you could actually challenge the harder stages right away. So before you get any buffs whatsoever from the lower stages, you get to start out and fight the higher stages, and they said it should be possible as long as you dodge and parry everything. Apart from that, we also, well, I should have mentioned this earlier, but we have Gifts of Grand Opening, which isn't the actual regular, you know, login bonus. It's a 10 pool for limited banner, but then we also still get the actual 7-day login bonus as well. So this is just an additional tempo that we are getting. We got the outfits for Chang Li and Carlotta, the Summer Queens, that is coming out, and I have both these characters, so I'm excited. I didn't have Chang Li until a couple of days ago because I lost the 50-50 on her banner, but now I went after her on the rerun because I wanted to wear the skin. It's that simple. The skin 100% influenced me to get Chang Li, okay? I'm not going to lie. We have some new echoes, which they look cool, especially the Lioness of Glory looks really cool. We also have the Nightmare Kelpie, and then we have Kirasar, Pilgrim Shell, Devotee's Flesh, and then we got the remaining Dragon, Spectral Drake, Fusion Drake, and Havoc Drake. And there should have been one, well, maybe it's not an echo, but it's an enemy we can fight. It's called Embers of Glory. That's what it's called. So yeah, that's the other enemy. Well, I don't really know what it is because it's not in the new echoes list. So it's just a new enemy. So yeah, there's that thing that we get to fight as well. So I guess, but now enemies can also summon their own echoes to fight. So yeah, they're no longer fighting alone. You might just walk up on a man who's by himself. He'll just throw out 3 Pokemon real quick to fight for him. You never know now. Moving forward, we have 2 new Phantom Echoes, which is Phantom Cuddle and Phantom Fey Ignis, which comes from 2 different events. Phantom Fey Ignis you get from the new permanent game mode, which is the whole domination banner thing. So that's cool. But then Phantom Cuddle comes from another event, which is pretty much Pokemon. You know, you got cards that hold the power of echoes within them, and you pretty much select the team you want using the cards, and then you throw them out to fight other echoes. It's Pokemon. It looks like a 5v5. So we made jokes about them being comparable to Pokemon in the past. Now we actually have the Pokemon Battle Royale. So yeah, there's that. So that's cool. We have 2 new equipment sets, which is the Windward Pilgrimage, which is for Cartheia and more than likely Arrow Rover, because with this new set, the Remembrance for Cartheia, the little sword, actually is getting this as a set effect as well, so it's getting another one added onto it. In a previous video, I said they might add the healing set onto it because, you know, Arrow Rover wants to heal. But no, there's a whole new set for the damage dealer aspects instead of a support aspect. So in this set, the Windward Pilgrimage, 2-piece set effect is arrow damage plus 10%. And the 5-piece set effect is hitting a target with arrow erosion, increases the crit rate by 10%, and grants 30% arrow damage bonus lasting for 10 seconds. So yeah, this will be good for both Cartethyia and Arrow Rover, while keeping the Gusts Awoken on Chacona. So there we go. And then we also have a second set, which is Flaming Claw Print, which is 2-piece set effect, fusion damage plus 10%, and the 5-piece set effect, Casting Resonance Liberation increases fusion damage of resonators in the team by 15%. So this is also what makes me think Lupa will be more of a supportive role. But on top of that, the caster's Resonance Liberation damage increases by 20% lasting 35 seconds. And, you know, Lupa wants to use her little ability right after a teammate uses their Resonance Liberation, so this leads me to believe that little effect will be scaling off of Resonance Liberation damage. But I could be wrong. You know, this is all speculation, but that's the funnest thing to do. Now, they actually are adding paid flight apparatuses, that being a glider and a new flight, you know, aspect. So yeah, they are Dawn Upon Thorns, and they have a white, blue, gold, you know, little aesthetic going on. There will be a free one though that you can get from that Pokemon event, which will be a goldish orange and black. So at least they're still giving out free ones, but yes, this time around there will be a paid one as well. We do have a new technical hologram coming out, which is Kelpie, which is just JoJo's Bizarre Beatdown, because you have 3 massive demons fighting all at once. So I mean, that's fun and interactive. Get ready to get bent over and beat up. I mean, it is what it is. They're also bringing back the best event, in my opinion, the Virtual Crisis Frontier Trials. So yeah, and it's back now with more difficulty. So yeah, we already know how it went the first time. You get to augment the enemies to make it more difficult, you know, to increase stress. But when they said more difficult, they meant you can now see 2 bosses fighting you at once, because what they showed us was Inferno Rider and Fallacy of No Return trying to give you hands at the same time. So yes, baby, it's gonna get even better. I love a good difficult content mode that doesn't have a time limit. I'm just that way. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And then finally, we have optimization. So in-game guide depot, it just allows you to see builds and setups for teams, for characters inside the game now, which is nice. You have focus mode, which is in focus mode, no resonator or location will be unavailable as you progress through a quest. You have the global filters, which is just filter presets that you can put on to, you know, set certain aesthetic moods at a given time without having to do all the work of setting the actual filters yourself because there's presets. But please note that cutscenes and UI elements will not be affected by the filters, so that's cool and nice. And then lastly, we just have the main quest fast track event, which just allows you to quickly get to version 2.0. So yeah, that is nice. Apart from that, the last thing we can honestly look at is just, you know, banners. I mean, Cartethyia first, Lupa second. They will have their weapons with them. There should be no reruns because I didn't say anything about that. Apart from that, we have standard events, exploration events, and then we have Lola Logistics coming back. So yeah, that is pretty much everything. Now at the very end of the actual live stream, they showed us a lot of characters, baby. And many of them look really good. I have strong opinions about some of them. My words are destroying my body from the inside out. But yes, I have strong opinions about some of them because they actually look amazing. And we finally have another man, which took a while, but hey, he's here. I also have opinions about him too. But that will all be in a separate video talking about them and what they might be element-wise and kit-wise and, you know, weapon types, all that good stuff. Anyways, I will see you in the next one because this video has been going on for way too long in my personal opinion. I love you guys and bye-bye.